Hello everyone, my name is Brimming Teacup and welcome back to Empty Soul. Now, you may be asking yourself, Brimming Teacup, you got past this part, much past this part, why are you back here? Well, my fan who for some reason sounds very similar to me, it's a little off-putting but I'll ignore it. I've gone through this multiple times now. The first time I tried to record this episode, it was failed because the video was corrupt. I'm not sure how, but it got corrupt. The second time, the audio and video... No, wait. No, just the video. The video didn't record. I got audio, but I didn't get video. So this is my third time trying to record this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do everything that you can do in Chapter 2, or at least the parts of Chapter 2 I've gone through. And it might take up the whole episode, but I'll have myself speaking later at a different time over the video as you see of everything that's going on, just so I can explain it, get through it, and get to the part I'm at. So this is where I'm going to go ahead and cut out and go ahead and get back to playing the game. Enjoy! Alright guys, this is the future Brimming Teacup that's going to start explaining everything. Alright, so at the moment, to kind of recap of the small parts that happened in this from last episode, Solin's sister is asking for money. Now, one of the biggest things to notice at the moment, notice her name is not being used in this at all. It's her sister, and she should already know her sister's name, but it does not say the name whatsoever. So, at first, I kind of just shrugged this by, but after playing it a few times, I picked up on this, and it really meant something strange. Now, I'm just quickly saving here. Okay, so at this point, Solin is going to make her food and everything. It's nothing too major. Honestly, it's just stuff to be in between. But this is where there's a loud thump at the door. Now, as we go in, we see that there's a letter there on the floor. Gives this image, and it says this: every story has a hero and a villain. The roles are not important, but the tale may change perspectives. Behind the sorrow lies the inevitable truth. Will you be able to stand it, or will you be able to live with such pain? Anyway, after that point, we go back through the story, and my character gets a phone call. We find out what it is. Some weird noises are going on. She demands it stops after a few moments, and it just suddenly stops with just one slight noise. And then it comes up with a text message. And I'll have it pause here, and it says, "The night's especially beautiful. How about a date? See you on Central Park." My character's confused, and she just doesn't know. She thinks about calling the cops when she gets another text message, which says, "If you don't come, I'll go for you. Maybe your sister won't like that. Police will not help." My sister, damn it, my character says. She realizes she has no choice but to go ahead through with this. So she's going to start heading to Central Park. This is Novi City, just gives a quick tutorial how to move around. So we head to Central Park. Now, I go ahead and go over here and grab this flashlight, because it's kind of annoying to look around without it otherwise. Alright, so it works. However, there's a person up top there that my character sees. Just disappears though. All I can tell is that it looks like it was a male. Nothing more though, so I just go ahead and go to withdraw $300 since that's the max I'm able to pull out. And I just continue on with the game. I look around to make sure that I don't forget anything. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I can't really remember. I just come over to grab these notes, which will be important. I will have me read this off later on for everyone to hear. That way you can get an idea of the entire story. I can't remember what I was supposed to do, so my character go ahead and leaves, and I go to Jim Jungle's store. I go ahead and just talk to Jim, and they're mostly just talking and just catching up. The biggest thing is that he says he hasn't seen a lot of clients, but he also has not seen any people a lot lately, as if it's been barren, like a ghost town. They talk about that. He offers to sell me something. I really don't care. I leave, get achievement, and I keep going. I come over here to Lex Street because there's another set of diary notes just like before. Now, it will make sense why I'm getting these later on. So I go ahead and grab these. I kind of just skip through it because I'm going to read it later. So, I'm done here. I continue on and I head out. I believe this is where I go to Whitechapel. Yeah, I go to Whitechapel Street. And I go to talk to Cross. And last time when we played this, we remembered Cross was a very, we'll go with eccentric fellow. So, we just talk. I get through this. My character is adamant about not helping him at first, but then I talk to him again and say, yes, I will help you out. It's a lot of dialogue. It'll take a moment. Trust me, it's a lot faster now than it was before. Once I finally say, yeah, I'll help you, he asks me to get a memento from the past. Now, this is where I realize I forgot to do something. I have to go all the way back to the Central Park. And I have to read this here. Now, it has nothing too majorly important except where it says Soul and Sewers. And something else right in the middle, I noticed that there's a face. I didn't notice that the previous times, but I did this time. I'm not sure if it matters or not, but it's kind of creepy. Anyway, I learned that I need to go to the sewers now, and this is where I come here. So, my character realizes this is where the sewers are. She moves that sign, and it's finally able to go to sewers. But we don't go there yet. We get the hairpin right there and go to speak to Cross. This is the memento from the past, and this is the first thing we need. I give it to him. He gives me $100 as a reward, and we continue on. Now he's asking for a video game. I really didn't understand why he wants a video game, but I don't question it. I go back to my house, I go into the room, and there's a stack of video games right here. Now this was particularly annoying. I believe it's a % chance to get the video game you need, and you just have to continuously talk until you finally get that item you need. So I talk, or why am I saying I talk? I'm not talking to him. Well, I guess she's talking to herself, but anyway, she continues to go through all of this, trying to get the game she needs, and it takes forever just to get this. It's very tedious. So how are you guys doing? I'm doing pretty well myself right now. I kind of look around to see if there's somewhere else. I start clicking stuff, and the Doom of Duty thing was starting to get annoying. I got the joke at first, but now the joke's annoying because I'm constantly seeing it. It's like, okay, it's Call of Duty. Oh, this is funny. She makes a comment where she thinks horror games are annoying, and she's like, wait, what? Because it's a horror game. It's a funny little excerpt. I thought the creator was pretty funny doing that. So I go back to go talk to Cross, and I give him this item. I can't exactly remember what he gives me. I think he gives me, like, some chamomile tea or something. Just a small little item to help heal myself. So now he wants me to go find his friend, who is in the sewers. So we're gonna go find him. I do that a few times, but then I try to remember where I found him. I couldn't remember where I find him, so I honestly looked up a guide. I did all this whole thing anyway myself, so I didn't really see too much of an issue with looking it up just to refine stuff. So I go to the left 2 times, and then I start looking here, where I'm making that funny little dance right there. I finally find the skeleton. I had to get it right just to get it. So I go ahead and head back. Now that I found the body of his dead friend, I can go tell him that his friend's dead in the sewer. So go ahead and go upstairs. Go back to Cross at this point and tell him that she found the friend. He's in the sewers, obviously dead. I can't remember. I think he gives me a storage key for this one. I can't remember exactly. At this point, he asks for a DNA sample. This one is actually pretty simple. Oh, but first I go to Jim Jungle Store, because I was right. I get the storage key, and basically I just need to go to that little door that was here, and I'm going to get a ruby, which is going to be important for later, and I am going to get, I believe that was an ambrosia, which is a godsend, let me mind you. It completely heals you, gets rid of fear and everything. So we're gonna go ahead and go back to Central Park, And I'm going to go ahead and just grab the bone right here. We're going to continue on. Just hurry on up through all this. And I'm going to go ahead and give him that bone. And that's the DNA that I need for him. Now, this isn't too... At first, this one was very weird. Alright, so the number is 2105. Now, the reasoning of why this is, in Zolan's house, you notice that there is a clock, and it's stuck at 9:05. Now, to Americans, that doesn't really matter, but to any European viewers that might be watching this, you'll think, oh, 9:05? That's 21:05 on the 24-hour clock. So, now, when I originally did this, I looked everywhere. I spent almost an hour on that one. I finally found that clock, and I wonder if that's important. So, honestly, at that point, I was like, I'm just gonna Google it, this one. I Googled it, and I was actually right. Now, at this point, I go back up. At this point, he's asking me to get all of the notes. I had to come here to get the notes. I also go ahead and trigger the scene where it says I need to get 10 snips to go through there. That'll be an important place for later. Now, at this point, I'm just kind of lost. I honestly hate this sewers. I'm not sure if I'm just going to the wrong places or if it kind of gets you lost on purpose or what's going on. It takes me a while to finally find my way back out. I soon learned the trick of how to get in and out of these sewers, but it doesn't make me like this place anymore as a result. These rats are very annoying as well because they're entities you can't move through. You just get stuck in between each one. So it's very, very irritating, but nothing to really complain about too much. Anyway, I finally get out and I go ahead and start combining these diary pages. So we're gonna go ahead and continue on. The next one is over here at Novi Meadow Hotel. I get this one. I'm skipping over these because once again, I'm gonna read these to you guys. I'm gonna go back to my house where I'm going to grab two things actually. I'm going to head in here and there will be the papers, which is a painful story. And then I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna grab the 10 snips. This will be the item I need to be able to lock in. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and let it go back to past me because this is where it's going to have me read everything off. So, day 1. Today was my first day at Harper Court. I was very excited because I finally could make it. People are nice, and I like the environment so far. They said I would get used quickly, and I'm very happy. After all those years studying so hard, the salary isn't bad either. I think I'll move to my own house in a couple of months. I'm so nervous. Tell my family, they'll be so proud of me. End. Day 20. I feel good in this environment, but some people are strange. They look at me weird and whisper at my back. I already made some friends. I hope we can go out sometime and have a drink. I really need more social activity. I heard that my sister will be transferred by this winter to our corporation, so I hope to see her and maybe we can work at the same department. I'm happy. Smiley face. End. Day 45. I haven't wrote so much these days. I'm very busy and tired. They don't let me take a break. I like to work and I'm happy with everything, but sometimes I think they are testing me to something bigger. There's also rumors that some scientists are disappearing. I don't know much about it, but I guess it's not real and everything will be solved. End. Day 90. Finally, the day has come. My sister has transferred and it's now, I think they meant, and she's now working with me at the same department. She's so pretty and knows so much. I'm kind of jealous, but I'll study more to improve my skills. Something that I noticed, she seems very interested on human skills development. Unfortunately, you can't experiment with humans' lives. Day 130. What's this? My sister got promoted to another department. It's a new project that's going to be a revolution. I'm happy for her, but it's a super secret project, so she can't say anything about it. Anyways, those are good news. No. More scientists are disappearing. I'm a little scared. What's happening? I think I got all the papers now. Interesting story. I never met this person on Harbor Core. So now that I've read all of that to you, something very strange I noticed was someone at Harbor Core. It's someone that Solon doesn't know, and it's someone with a sister. This must have been before this accident that they keep mentioning, but there's nothing much about it, so it makes me wonder, is it anything to do with Solon, maybe? I don't know. But at this point, I'm clicking on the moon. You might wonder why, but the reasoning for me clicking on that moon is because it's the only way to get to the next part. I accidentally spoiled myself on this part later on, and it just sue me. Anyway, you know, I talked to Cross. He's actually very impressed with everything I've done, and he gives some interesting words about how I need to remember things, about how, I don't know, just how I need to remember the past and learn from it, not forget it. Anyway, he gives me a catalyst, and I'm just set to use this catalyst. So I don't know if there's anything story importance of this guy, but nonetheless, I got what I needed. I got the catalyst I'm going to need. You'll end up finding more about this man later. Now, something in here, it talks about a being that was here much before humans. The character that you play says Genova. It's a Final Fantasy VII reference. It made me chuckle a little bit. I just talked to him a little more to see what other kind of excerpts he gives me, and at this point he's pretty much just repeating the same thing. He makes a little comment about Spanish parallel world, because I believe this was originally a game made in Spanish, because I know the creator speaks Spanish. So anyway, I go to Solon's house and I come over here to get a key. This is a magic key. Now the biggest thing about this is as we come over here, it goes to this door that we could not go into earlier. So I try to go in, it prompts me like 12 freaking times, and I finally get to go in. Now, at first, there's not really anything here. I wonder what's going on, and I come over here, and I click it 10 times, and while I at first thought it was nothing important, I learned that apparently it is important. I'll show you what I mean here in just a moment. This is where I'll also have my past me explain some stuff of what might be going on. I'll be reading it to you. I got you guys. No, it's nothing important. It was just a little Easter egg that the person put in. So it scared the living shit out of me when I first did this. Trust me. I threw my headphones and everything. Anyway, this room honestly had no major importance. I might skip this, I might not. I might use it. Who knows? The biggest thing about this was it was just a small little playroom. It was an Easter egg. So whether this still has any importance or not, I can't quite tell. So I guess we'll find out later. But it gives me a little cute game to go ahead and play. I try to, get the highest score I can. It's fun. It's not all too bad. But while past me plays this, let me definitely try to explain some things. So there through so many weird things that are going on in this. First, what does Cross honestly have to do with all this? Was it purely just for comedic sake? Was there... Oh, I died there. Was there anything special about it? Because I can't really put a finger on it. And then, what's so... It's this entire... What's with the sister? Why can I not see her name? That's my sister. I should know my sister's name. But it's very strange. I kind of let a lot of this be. And then there's the papers. Is this from Solon and her... about her sister and herself? It's Harper Core. They're both sisters. What's going on? There's gotta be so many things about this. At this point, I get a little irritated because I accidentally hit X, and that completely makes me have to restart. So I'm like, no, I'm just gonna go ahead and continue on with the story. Okay, so I believe at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and head to the... I believe, yeah, okay, I'm going back to Whitechapel Street, and I'm gonna go back to the sewers. Now, this is where we'll actually progress the story again. Once again, I do not know if Cross is important in this story or not. It might have just been strictly for comedic sake. So, we'll find out about that later. My character keeps on going through all of this, and this is where I get back to this gate. I go through this dialogue, and I go ahead and snip off the chains, and I go in. Now, this is very strange. My character has some kind of flashbacks, and that face pops up. That face constantly pops up, and it's so weird. Why is it so important? I come up to this. I got SD card earlier. I come to this machine right here. It takes forever, only to tell me this. Error. Fingerprints don't match. Percent of similarity, 80%. Solon asks what I want to know. What do they mean? Similar. Now, I'll go ahead and read through the things that are being written on this as well. Day 1. The subject does not show any sign of degradation. Consider increasing the dose. Day 5. The subject begins to show some signs of degradation. Day 10. The mental status of the patient starts to deteriorate. Day 15. Following a superior agreement, Dr. Walls is now in charge of tests. Now, I went ahead and read through everything for you guys, past me did specifically, and it says Dr. Walls in that place. My character's last name is Walls, so that causes question. Now, at this point, as I'm going through, I get a text message saying that I was late. I don't know how I'm late, to be quite frank with you, because I came here pretty early. But I let it be. I continue on. I found a quicker way to get through and out of this place, like I said I would. Doesn't mean I like it anymore. Anyway, I'm told to go to the hotel, so I go ahead and head off over there. Now that I'm at Novi Meadow Hotel, I meet this lady, and she's complaining that her husband isn't there. I ask her what she's really doing and if I could help her at all. And she says no, so I ask for her name, and she gives me the name Sandy. Nope, remember that name, Sandy. So as I'm talking to her, she says that she's just waiting for her husband and that he's not punctual, and says that she's going to kill Shane. Remember that name as well, Sandy and Shane. So we continue talking. I accidentally clicked the wrong thing, but then I ask if she needs help. This is more of just simple excerpt. I ask if she could use any help. She says no, not at all. She's just annoyed. Then she asks if I have a blind date, and I say, not exactly. And she thinks I'm then going out with two men. And yeah, it's very odd. It's gonna be paused here for a moment just so I can explain everything. But the names Sandy and Shane are very important in this game. Remember both of those names at the moment. Anyway, this is where I'm going to let it go back to past me so he can explain everything in another way, because there is stuff I want to explain as it goes on. Anyway, enjoy. Okay, thanks Future Me for explaining stuff. I'll go ahead and take it from here because there's some very important information that I want to just explain as it goes. Alright, so after doing all that, we went back and forth. Remember that the computer said Dr. Walls. The character we play is Solon Walls. Remember this. And remember the names that were used in this a lot. Remember what her name was. Sandy, the woman we just spoke to. Remember the name she said of her husband, Shane. Let's go ahead and head straight in. Keep just all that in mind, and there's going to be more to keep in mind. I'm going to read this as we go. What a waste of time. I'm all wet and cold. Brr. Oh, almost forgot the food. It should be cold like death now. Wonder how my sister's doing. She hasn't called me back. Okay, I'll call her. Hello? Hello? Who's there? Can't be. No, I'm calling again. Pay attention closely. My sister's voicemail. Pay attention to what this voicemail says. Hello, this is Sanaj. I'm not available now. Please leave a message after the tone. I'll call you right away. Beep. What? Sanaj? I remember. That name. Wait, Shane? That Shane? Could it be? SNS research? The accident? My head. It's gonna... It's not over yet. All of these things happened. These are very important things to have remembered everything by. I'm going to make a separate save just in case, because I started just straight from Chapter 2. I didn't do Chapter 1. I redid all of Chapter 2 only. So I'm going to just make a separate save just in case if that might mess up my game or something. We'll find out. But that puts everything together. Alright, Solon Walls, the Dr. Walls, that whole story from earlier that I will actually have, I read off earlier to you guys, that she has her own sister, it's and they both went to Harper Core. Scientists were disappearing. It's possible that Solon's the person who wrote those notes. It's very possible it was her diary and she just never put two and two together. It might be, it's amnesia. She might have forgotten all of this. Shane, his name was used in this. Sanaj's name was used in this. I have no idea what was going on with Cross still. But there was the accident. There's so much. And even someone points it out. Jim from Jim's Jungle Store, I think it was called. Something like that. He even mentions that it seems like there's no one around, and there's so much in this, and you have to put so many different things together, and it all connects in a very weird way. Anyway, let's go and quickly continue with this so we can wrap it up. Where am I? What was all that? My head is gonna explode. This place. Again. Just want everything to end. Please, somebody. Please. Hold on. What's that sound? It comes from outside. This is, I believe, the third or fourth time I have seen her say that. What's that coming from outside? And each time I think, what? You are going to go check outside. What makes you think putting 2 and 2 together to go outside when the room you're already in that you woke up in is covered in blood? It's just, I don't even know. I am going to call it here though. We're close to where I left off, but next episode I will play this normally, because this is where things just get a little weird, but more in the creepy sense this time at least. But I don't want this episode to be too terribly long, so thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, let me know. Blah, blah, blah. If you enjoyed it, let me know with a like or a comment down below. And as always, in the next video, next cup is on me. Bye-bye.